So, it's October, and as some would call it, the spooky season. To celebrate the spooky season, I wanted to tell you guys the story on how at one point in my life, I thought the Tails doll was real. Yes, I am being 100% serious, and this is not a fake YouTube funny story. This was a thing that actually happened, and in retrospective, it's quite funny. You can ask a lot of my old middle school friends. To set the stage, it was December of 2013, and all the kids were asking for the brand new PS4 and Xbox One, with some weirdos asking for a Wii U. And what was little Nick asking for? More Wii U games? A PS4? Nope. I was hoping for a Sega Saturn with all the Sonic games on the system. I was a very interesting kid, which, in retrospective, it was a very good call, because nowadays the Sega Saturn games go for a lot of money, like hundreds of dollars. But anyway, it was Christmas morning, and I opened a box that had a Sega Saturn in it, with 3 controllers and one of those weird demo discs in it as well. As I opened more gifts, I found Sonic Jam, Sonic 3D Blast, and lastly Sonic R. I was incredibly excited to play Sonic R since it was one of those games that eluded me. I always wanted to play Sonic R. The 5th generation in its entirety weirdly interested me as a kid. The night before, I watched a Let's Play of Sonic R on YouTube, which I can't even find anymore. I think the guy deleted his channel. But as I watched on, he started to race Tails doll in Radical City, and he does his little skit where he screams or pretends to be scared, which to me at the time was really funny. He mentioned something about the Tails doll curse, and now my interest is at its peak. Fast forwarding back to Christmas Day, I was playing Sonic R, having a bunch of fun, and I got to Radical City and started to race the Tails doll. The whole race, I started getting this weird, uncomfortable feeling I couldn't shake off for the rest of the day. Later that night, I started to look up Tails doll on YouTube. I found a video, this video that's on screen to be exact, and I started to watch. As the video went on, I was creeped out, but not totally scared or anything. I mean, it was Christmas. I was enjoying cookies and all that fun stuff. But then I got to the point where the video says,
"While playing, the doorbell rang. Noah and Gil went to go see who it was, only to find nobody was there."
And all of a sudden, we actually got a knock on the door that was right beside me. My at the time stepfather answered the door, and when he answered the door, he found out that no one was there. And he turned around and told everyone in the room that there was no one here. And at that point in time, my life was turned upside down. I started to freak out a little bit and run to my room as my stepdad goes outside to look around. I frantically look up Tails doll real on YouTube and see those fake sighting videos and use a little red laser pointer and pretend that's the Tails doll. And I, of course, think it's real, and I was absolutely scared out of my mind. And for the next 6 months or so, I legitimately thought it was real. I did the curses constantly and made plans with my friends to fight them one day. I watched a bunch of creepypastas on YouTube, believing all of them for some bizarre reason. I didn't even want to play the game past 8 p.m. sometimes because I didn't want the Tails doll to come and get me when I was unprepared. But as time went on, I started to find this whole phase of my life to be extremely funny and is now one of my favorite things to tell my friends and family. And since then, Sonic R became one of those games I play yearly around Halloween time. Because, you know, it's one of those games that have a really weird and negative feeling to it, much like Mario 64 in my opinion. Some might not agree with that, but let me explain. Very weird styled graphics, stage visuals, and music, and unexplainable characters that haven't appeared since. A lot of games in the 5th generation are more scary than others by default. Even something like Mario 64 can be very unsettling when you put some thought into it. The late 90s were a really weird time for video games. So for that reason and many more, Sonic R will always hold a special place in my heart for not only scaring the poop holes out of me, but for being one of the weirdest games of all time. For the story, that's it. But I can't help to find these old creepypastas really bad and funny when looking back on them. And I just want to debunk some of the things they say. As for the quote-unquote main Tails doll creepypasta, A, why the heck does that house have every weapon in existence in it? B, in this story, they stopped playing Sonic R and go play Sonic Adventure 2, which at first I was like, okay, whatever. But then I put some thought into it. Sonic Adventure 2 came out in 2001. The Saturn was essentially done in 1998, so there's no way in hell they went to GameStop looking for new Sega Saturn games if the Dreamcast was already over. And that's assuming this story takes place in 2001. This could be the SA2 battle version, which on the GameCube, which at that point you shouldn't even make the story if you don't know the proper time frame of the games. Now for the second one I watched a lot of back in the day. First off, this story sounds like it was written by a 12-year-old. But in this one it says the kid beats the final boss, which if you ever played or even seen Sonic R, there's not a single boss in the game, let alone a final boss. I guess you could say the character races are bosses, but like there's no final one, so why is it in the story? Not to mention it says the Tails doll is in the credits, which he isn't even in the credits, has never been in them once in all the versions of the game. And there's this other one, but for the sake of mine your sanity, I won't cover it, but all I need to say is it says the Sonic R's for the Genesis and they tickle each other a lot, so I'm not even gonna bother with that one. But this video's got way off track. I just wanted to say I hope all of you freaking weirdos have a great Halloween, eat some good candy, watch some good horror movies, and play some scary games like Mario 64 and Sonic R. With that being said, Nick here from NNC signing out. See you guys in the next one.